dentist received an unusual case. The patient's teeth appeared perfectly healthy, yet he kept screaming in agony. After a thorough examination, the dentist found no signs of cavities or inflammation. The only abnormal finding was several white shadows on the X-ray of the patient's tooth roots. Since he had never encountered such a condition before, he could only send the patient home for observation while awaiting further test results. Near closing time that day, the dentist suddenly heard strange noises. He went over to investigate and discovered the water in the sink was churning, bubbling, and gurgling. Without thinking much of it, he casually pulled out the sink stopper, only to discover in horror that it was crawling with countless tiny insects. In panic, he quickly threw the bugs into the trash. At that moment, he suddenly remembered the white shadows on the patient's X-ray. He magnified the X-ray by 100 times and clearly saw a cluster of insect-like creatures inside the tooth. The next day, he conducted in-depth research and ultimately confirmed that these insects were an ancient dental parasite. They typically inhabit human teeth, and after laying thousands of eggs, they burrow into other organs or even invade the brain. Currently, there is no treatment for this parasite. Fortunately, this species had long been extinct. Reading this, the dentist broke out in a cold sweat. But just then, the hospital urgently notified him, demanding that he operate on the patient immediately. To prevent infection, he put on every piece of protective equipment he could think of. Once the surgery began, he was trembling all over with nervousness. Shortly after, he successfully extracted one parasite. But before he could breathe a sigh of relief, a massive amount of blood suddenly gushed from the patient's mouth. The patient's eyes slowly turned red, his face became deathly pale, and his body stiffened like a corpse. He was a living zombie.